Joining me now, Assistant Minister to the Prime Minister, Patrick Gorman, and New South Wales Liberal Party President Jason Falinski. Patrick, can you clear up? The Opposition Leader says 2 to 3 to 4 of the people so far released would be subject to this potentially through the courts. Is the figure higher? What can you tell us about that?
Well, the bill is out for people to see, including Mr Dutton and his front bench. What we know, though, is that whenever something comes to the Parliament, even something as serious as this, Mr Dutton and his team instantly look for a reason to say no, instantly look for a reason to oppose. That's how they started the year. It's what they did during the budget. It's how they're going to end the year. They are looking for an opportunity to oppose. What this is simply about is keeping our community safe, giving the courts the power they need to make sure that dangerous offenders are not in our community, and making sure that we address the outcomes of the High Court case, which was handed down, well, the decision was made less than a month ago.
But can you give us a clear answer on that? Because this threshold for when the court would be able to consider this would be someone that had a 7-year sentence. So if Peter Dutton says that's only 4 people, surely you can go, no, that's wrong, and here's how many it is. Can you clear that up for us?
No. What I'll clear up for your viewers is it's very simple. The Minister can refer a matter to the court. That's the Supreme Court of a state or territory. The court decides. That's what we need to do following the decision of the High Court. That's a pretty reasonable proposition. If Peter Dutton is going to say no to even doing that, I mean, well, again, we'll see that he's going to end the year as he started, opposing everything. But again, what we've got is, for all of your viewers,
but people would say,
public,
okay,
they can see the legislation.
Four people, that doesn't really change the pendulum.
Yeah.
And I know they get referred to the courts. I'm not asking you to be the judge and jury here, but you could still have a number on how many the Minister could refer to the courts. That's what I'm saying, not how many end up in detention. What is that number if it's not 4?
Well, that's a question for the Minister as to who they choose to refer, and I don't want to preempt that before this legislation is even passed the Senate, which is the question in front of us right now.
Refer.
And I can't tell you,
threshold
Tom, I will be honest, I can't tell you where Mr Dutton plucked that figure from. It sounds like a figure that he has created simply to come up with another excuse to oppose. It's what he's been doing all year. This is legislation that will give us the powers we need to lock up serious criminal offenders, dangerous people, get them out of our community. If Mr Dutton thinks that he can find some sort of a narrow path to oppose it, look, I don't know why he's doing that, but I think your viewers will conclude it's all about politics.
We'll see if there's a contrasting number put out by the Minister of the Government. Jason, what are the principle on this? So that 7-year sentence would be the threshold which someone could be referred, and it's up to a judge to decide ultimately, which Labor says you've got to still respect the High Court decision. You can't grant the power to the Minister. That's the whole point of this. Is that a fair enough principle to go by?
That's absolutely a fair enough principle. I think, I think to be fair to Patrick and the Labor Party on this, this is the result of numerous High Court decisions where they have ruled that you couldn't deport people, where you couldn't retry them in this country, and now they're saying you can't actually detain people who have been accused and for which there is substantive evidence that they've committed horrendous crimes. I don't see Peter Dutton saying no. That's not how I heard that press conference. What I heard him saying was that he's got questions, and one of the questions is this a maximum number of people of 4 people that you can hold at any one time? If that's the case, then frankly, Tom, this looks a lot like beta policy, not the policy we need to protect the people of Australia. Yeah.
I'm intrigued as to what the number is. I'm sure we'll all be doing our best in the 4th estate to figure that out. But the threshold matters too, right? It wouldn't be anyone, no matter how minor the sentence. So again, is that principle fair enough? It'd have to be something serious enough to warrant a 7-year sentence at least.
But Tom, this is where I just have so much frustration. I can't imagine that Patrick doesn't share this frustration. The whole presumption of the High Court that people were being detained for the fun of it by ministers is appalling and atrocious ruling. The fact is that these were people who were accused of serious crimes, and for which there was substantive evidence to back up those allegations, were being detained.
Okay.
The federal government, both parties, had tried to to send these people back to the countries from which they came. And the High Court, in many instances, blocked that attempt. And if not them, then the federal court did. And then we tried to retry some of those people in this country, and we're told we weren't allowed, we being the Australian people, weren't allowed to do that. I'm sorry, but this whole idea that it has to be serious, as if it wasn't a serious crime or allegation that people were being detained for.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then that threshold should be fine. Anyway, look, we're all poking in the dark a bit. We'll wait till we get more information. I'm sure you guys will be back in 2 weeks, December 18. You're hardworking.